Welcome to Dr. Dana Show and Tell. I'm Dr. Dana Churchill. I'll be your host today, and we have an amazing guest today who really has done a huge amount of work for the medical field, for patients suffering, for himself, and he's 70. It looks like he's 30. I don't know how you do that. Lou, come on out, please. Lou Corona. Big hand for Lou Corona. Thank you for coming on, Lou. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, for sure.
So we have the coconut here and we have the almonds. So let's just go into that a little bit. What's that for? We'll just tell a little history here.
Those are two ancient foods coming together. Mm-hmm. When you take the meat and the water of the coconut and blend it up with the almonds, these are non-pasteurized almonds that have been soaked for 24 hours to release the enzyme inhibitors and the acids from them. Okay. But when you blend them together into a special cream, we put a teaspoon of these powerful probiotics in it. Right. Mix it up, let it sit for about 4 hours, and it turns into almond coconut yogurt. Nice. We'll show a little bit more about
that's your specialty, right?
Well, that's just one of the many. Okay. But it's a very special one.
So we talked behind stage, and you told me your history and your story, which is very profound. So I want you to run to the audience and to the people at home. What happened to you, and how did you figure out the 4 pillars of healing and what they are?
I was raised right here in Orange County, first 21 years of my life, and I was raised on pretty much Italian food, Mexican food, American food. I did it all. Yeah. But
you didn't eat very well, right?
Right.
You ate a lot of junk food too.
Yes,
not just homemade Italian
I did a lot
food.
of that too. Yeah, I did a lot of that too. Okay. Lots of that. But I crashed and burned when I was 21. I ended up with
what happened?
I went from going to the bathroom twice a day, to once every 3 weeks.
All of a sudden, it's just clogged up?
No. It several months later, into it. As I went into the Air Force, just shortly.
A lot of stress in the Air Force, probably, or whatever.
Give it what you will, but it's just that months later, from going into the bathroom from twice a day to once every 3 weeks, months later, when that happened, my body became toxic.
And all the toxins will be completely reabsorbed all the time, so you're not going to detox anything. It's dangerous.
Very dangerous. And so that's why I ended up with severe acne and allergies and hives and rash and itching. And then after that, I ended up with a big tumor behind my head.
A tumor?
A big tumor behind my head. Really? I was facing surgery because of it.
Or?
Well, I asked the doctor what causes cancer and tumors, and he said, I don't know. We just know you got it, and we're going to remove it.
So he's going to press on certain things that would make you very dangerous for you.
He said mine was operable, so he's going to remove it, sew me up, and give me some medication. And then he said after that, all we can do is hope for the best. Okay. Well, it didn't sound too good, but, and I think the reason it didn't sound too good to me was because when I was a teenager, my buddy's mom had a tumor behind the head. They removed it, and she died 2 years later. Wow. So I was a bit scared at that time.
Interesting.
Yeah, but...
What did you do then?
Well, when I was scheduled for the appointment, I had a little still voice telling me not to go to that appointment, and I never went back.
For the surgery? Or?
Right. Really? I never went back,
ever. So you didn't have it taken out?
No.
Oh, you didn't even get the surgery?
Never had the surgery, but right after that, I ended up with chronic asthma attack, which I never had before. Right. And so I was rushed to the hospital. They gave me medication, and then I was able to breathe again. Okay. And then I had to take oral and intravenous medication all the time just so I could keep breathing. Wow. And so I was living like that. Yeah. And I asked the respiratory doctor, what causes chronic asthma? Right. I never had this before. I don't smoke, drink, or take drugs. I'm a good person. Yeah. And the doctor said, we don't know what causes chronic asthma. We just know you got it. Right, right. So I took the medication because I had to, because I couldn't breathe without it.
Exactly, yeah.
So
you had to trust in the medical orthodoxy at that time.
At that time, that's what I did. That's what people do, right?
But why are you still here then?
Well, after that, I started having pain in my joints, and I remember my mom teaching me the power of prayer. Okay. So I put my hands together and I prayed to God that He could teach me. I was just about ready to ask, and all of a sudden I had this realization, and I realized that, like all of a sudden, I realized that we're not supposed to be sick in the first place. We were created to have a healthy life, a happy life, and it wasn't happening to me anymore. So all of a sudden I said, I want to know what's causing my issues. I want to know solutions, what I could do about them, and I want to know how to live from now on. Yeah. You teach me that, I'll do it, and then I'll get well, and then I'll have a great life. Right. And then I'll take this experience and knowledge, whatever I learned from it, and pass it forward, and I'll do that with my life.
And that's what happened?
And that's what happened. And after that, I went through this near-death experience, and I was shown these 4 principles.
So you actually died?
Well,
close to it?
I can't tell you if my heart stopped or not. All I can tell you is that I was suffocating. I was ready to check out. And then I said, either take me or show me.
Wow, that's huge.
And because when he told me to walk away from the hospital, after that prayer, I left the hospital.
So you could hear and you just left. Okay.
And so when I went home that night, when I went to sleep that night and I woke up with this attack, I knew that was it for me. So I just said, either take me or show me.
Okay.
And then all of a sudden I had this tingling warm sensation run through my body.
Right.
And then I went into this really deep sleep. And then I had a total reflection of my whole life.
Okay.
And then I was covered by this bright light around me.
Nice.
And then I was told these 4 principles.
Oh,
and then I followed them the next day. In 6 months, everything went away, never came back.
Nice.
And that was 49 years ago.
Oh, my goodness.
So for me to be here, just sitting here with you and just
so
sharing.
Young too, like not a day over 40.
It just turned my whole life around, transformed it.
Okay.
And then I've been well for 49 years.
Right.
And I really am 70. And I haven't worked out at the gym for 51 years.
Let's continue this conversation when we do your demo, because I want to show everybody about the yogurt and how you made it and give samples to everybody.
Okay.
All right?
Yeah.
Thank you for coming on. Appreciate
Absolutely.
It. Thank you. We're back here with Lou Corona, and I want to show you what he's making in his home. This is the most amazing healthy food you could ever eat. It has coconuts. He'll tell you about the almonds in a minute, but it's a coconut yogurt, almond yogurt. So explain to him why this is so good for you.
Well, we're taking 2 ancient foods, and we bring them together. We take the meat and the water out of the coconut, blend it up together, make it into a thick cream. We put this very powerful probiotic in it. You can get it, he's got access to it. So, but just a teaspoon, and it culturizes in 4 hours, 4.5 hours. It depends on the temperature you're in, and it turns into yogurt. And what that means is that it gets pre-digested. So these simple, powerful little friendly bacteria that's inside, these strains that are in there, it breaks down the proteins into amino acids, fats into fatty acids, carbohydrates into glucose. So it makes it bioavailable, easy to digest, easy to absorb and metabolize, and convert into energy, and build strong muscle, hair, skin, and bones. And so this is just a demonstration of what it does.
I tried that. It's very difficult.
My record's 7 minutes. But
Wow.
to be 70 and be living like this for plant-based organic raw living foods for what,
70. Isn't that
49
amazing?
years, 49 years of age, 49 years of living the lifestyle.
Right.
But to be 70 and feel like this,
I want to
this is a very.
I want to get to something really important.
Oh, one last thing I like to say.
Go ahead.
You can make smoothies, dressings, soups, dips, sauces, ice cream with this yogurt, just so you know. Very versatile. So, go ahead.
So, Lou is imparted the 4 pillars, divinely imparted. We had a near-death experience. And I know you talked to me backstage about terminally ill patients that you've helped heal. How many terminally ill patients approximately have you helped heal since you figured out a different way to live? And it's medicine, but it's also a lifestyle. We don't have enough time to go into it. But just on average, and name a few of the pathologies you've helped.
I won't give you numbers, but I would just say this. Anybody across the world that have taken on these 4 principles seriously and taken responsibility and really did the work and applied it just like I have, they've had some really incredible results. Okay, cool. Incredible results. Great. Without saying any more than that. Okay. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's hard to make people change. I know that's true.
No, people that actually are ready to do whatever it takes, people that really want to live and willing to take responsibility and do this type of work and follow these 4 principles, I've seen incredible
miracles.
Endless. So it's been amazing. It's been a wonderful journey, and I don't want to say too much around that.
We're going to bring you on again because we want to know more about those 4 pillars. But thank you for coming today.
For sure, absolutely.
Okay?
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Thank you.